Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of these 4 designs. I'm really happy with how this project is going so far. These are the first 4 of 25-ish designs I'll be making for card game stuff, and these are going to be the sleeve covers as well as maybe some proxy cards. They will be available for digital download, as well as the black and white designs will be available for download as well. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or check the description. Anyway, let's get to the transcription explanation. So here's a key to the script as well as all of the rules, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how this script works before getting to the actual designs. So this script, unlike the regular alphabet where there's only one shape to have for each letter, this script uses a combination of elements to make the consonants here. And those elements are these letter stems and these modifiers. These stems have a couple of different forms. So this first form is the deep divot. The shape is more than 50% complete. It starts to curve back in on itself. Whereas the shallow divot, this one here, is 50% or less complete and is just like an arc or a bite taken out of the circle. And then we have 2 completed shape stems. This completed circle inside the word circle is this row, whereas this circle is on the line of the word circle. And in these designs, some of them are highly stylized. So instead of being an exact circle shape, they're sometimes a bit, extra. With that being said, let's talk about the vowels. Vowels are smaller circles, or like this vowel here and this vowel here. I slightly changed the shape of the circle, but it's still a hollow circle. Dots are filled in. So this is a circle with a dot. And these are also counting as dots because that's the only thing they could be, even though they're not perfect circles. In the script, you typically just use the circle shapes, but again, to make these stylized variants, I did a little bit of extra stuff with it. So the vowels have different positions depending upon what vowel they are, and if they're attached on one of the 4 consonant stems. So an O is internal. It's in the inside position, which is if it's by itself on the word circle, it's inside that word circle. So here is an O in context. An O can also be attached on a consonant stem, like a bead on a string. So this is an O here, this is an O here. No O's in there, but this is an O here. A's are in the outside position. So they're outside the word circle. So here's the word circle. This is an A outside it. Here's another A outside the word circle. E's, I's, and U's are all in the same position, but an I has a line going inwards. So I is like E, but with a line in. So this little blue line turns that gray E into an I, and then this little red line turns that E into a U, because U is like E, but with a line going out, and that's out relative to the center of the word circle. So here we have these letters, and we can stack letters as well. So if stacked, read thin to thick, in same thickness as same letter. So here we have 2 stacked vowels. There's a thin one and a thick one, so we read the thin one first, and that thin one has a line going inwards, so that's an I, and this thick one has a line going outwards, so that's a U. So reading thin to thick, that would be the I, then the U. And lines passing through letters do not count. They only count when they end on a letter. Here's another I with a line going inwards. In this line I have stylized, but it's still just a line here. So here's another I line going inwards. There are no E's in these designs, so that's interesting. An E would have no line modifiers. Anyway, let's go ahead and start reading these. So here's our first letter of this first word here, and it is an A outside the word circle. Then we continue around and we have this letter. There's a bunch of lines passing through it, but lines that pass through the letter do not count. So none of these lines count, but these 1, 2, 3 dots are near it, so they would count. So those 3 dots and a circle on the line of the word circle makes this a Z. Continuing around, here we have an O inside the word circle. Continuing around, we have a shallow divot, this shape, with 1, 2, 3 dots. So that would be an R. And then we have this I-U stack I talked about, I line going inwards, U line going outwards. And then we have this shallow divot with the 1, 2, 3 lines. And you can do fun things with these line modifiers, like make them into circles, make them into triangles, whatever. So long as 1, 2, 3 lines end on this arc, it counts as an S. So A-Z-O-R-I-U-S is this first design. Our next design here, bottoms here, this silver ring is our word circle, and this first letter has a line passing through it, but no lines ending on it. This line doesn't connect up to it. It just passes through it and ends here and ends here. So that would be a deep divot with no modifier. So that's just a B. And then we have the O attached to it, like a bead on a string. So that would be an O. So we have a deep divot with an O. So B-O. And then we have this shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots on it. So that would be an R. And here's another O on that. And then we have our last letter here. It's a shallow divot, but with 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it. And because this is a little bit more elongated and connects up to that circle, it looks more like a line and these look more like dots. At least to me anyway. And that's how this would say B-O-R-O-S. Our next word here, this kind of shiny line is the word circle here. And there is a divot, there is a gap in that word circle with this shape around it. And because it is more than 50% complete, it's only got a small gap on the outside, it looks like this stem more than any other stem. So this is a deep divot, and there's that one shiny line on it here. So one line on a deep divot is a G. Here's an O attached to it, continuing around the word circle. Here's another shiny circle, and there are 1, 2, 3 dots by it, so that would be an L. Then we have this deep divot. Here's a line passing through it, and this one ends on it. So this one counts, that one doesn't. So it's another G, just like this G, a deep divot with one line, deep divot with one line. Then an A outside the word circle. And then we have this shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots, and then a vowel with a line going inwards. So G-O-L-G-A-R-I. And then our last word here, this is another modified deep divot. I did kind of a similar thing here, making this one stylized like bug legs, or that one's more like thorny pieces of wood. This deep divot has 1, 2, 3 dots with it, so that would be a D. And then we have the I line going inwards. Continue around. Here's a circle inside the word circle, like this. And it's got 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it, so that'd be an M. And then we have the I line going inwards. And then we continue around. Here's a shallow divot, same as these guys, with 1, 2, 3 dots, same as those dots. So that would be another R, just like that R there. So D-I-M-I-R is this design. So yeah, these are my designs, and I hope you like them, and I'm looking forward to having those card sleeves and those proxies, as well as some art cards and other swag ready. When those are ready, there will be a comment in the description, or like a thing in the description about that. Anyway, I hope you like them. Looking forward to doing more. Bye!